Okay, a couple of videos on the mighty Gippsland Lakes. Now, just to let you know where it is on a global level, if we drew the perfect circle for the world and drew an equator, Australia's in the southern hemisphere. That's the shape of Australia. Indonesia's up here, and India over here, Russia, China over there. So in Australia, we're in the southeastern corner, which is this point here. So if we transfer that over to this map here, it's this section of the coastline here. Melbourne's over here, Sydney that way, and there's a series of lakes here called the Gippsland Lakes. Lakes Entrance is the main port, and then we've got Lake King with the main town in there called Meetung, and then you got Lake Victoria and Lake King together, and then there's Paynesville there, Loch Sport, and then a big lake called Lake Wellington, which is also very shallow, runs to sail. The next map is a bit more in detail. The entrance here was built and pushed through the sand dunes. It was a very unreliable entrance back in the day, and there's a couple of really awesome photos of that I'll show you. And they built this magnificent entrance, and which is kept now for the fishing fleet in there, open with a dredge called the Tommy Norton. Yeah, then you can see the rest of the lake system is here, and they used to ship goods through all these straits. That McLennan Strait there is man-made, and then up to the Latrobe River to sail. Back in the days when transporting goods to these areas was better done by the sea. So I hope you enjoy the few videos that I'm going to make of the beautiful Gippsland Lakes. We're pointing out to Bass Strait, which is the open ocean. This is the eastern headland of Lakes Entrance, which is the opening to the open ocean from the Gippsland Lakes. So if we went the opposite direction to what we're pointing, we would enter the Gippsland Lakes. If you turn right at the end of the man-made passage, we get to the townships of Lakes Entrance. Back in the late 1800s, this entrance here wasn't there. This is man-made, of course, and the original entrance, how the whole lake system worked, was the floodwaters or the water would build up on the inside over the years, or depending on the seasons, and then it would blow out somewhere along the coastline. And as you can see down here, it was down the end here a bit further that it blew out in a thinner section. So they actually chose the current entrance site and started digging there. And there's a picture here that just shows that the wagons and the carts and all their infrastructure set up to cart away, to basically dig away the sand dune. It was quite amazing, really. And there was two stages. They built wooden structures that come out on each headland of the entrance, and they got eaten away by torpedo worms, so that was a bit of a mistake. So they ended up getting granite rock, what you can see there today, up the north arm, which is sort of just behind Lakes Entrance. There's another arm that called North Arm, and they run the granite out on these little barges and placed it. So it was a fair old effort. You can see North Arm is just up the back there, sort of a waterway to the top of the shot there, and still a distance, quite a distance. This picture here is an impression of the entrance being built back in the late 1800s, straight through the sand dune. The big heap in the middle is the remaining part of the sand dune that hasn't been mined away yet. It just amazes me all the extent of the work being done, the amount of sand that you got to remove, and you're using horses and carts and people pulling ropes, and it's just mind-boggling. This next photo is of the entrance already being completed, and you can see the ship waiting out the front, and there's breaking waves going across the entrance because obviously it's shallow and it's probably low tide, so they're breaking. But these days, to keep the entrance more reliable, they've got the big Tommy Norton, that sand dredge you can see, and it just sits there and makes that entrance deep and more reliable for the fishing fleet and the recreational uses. They've got a barge here that was used in construction of the entrance for placing the granite rock. It could go up North Arm and load the rock onto its deck and then take it out to the entrance and place it. Yeah, there's always something to see at Lakes entrance. The entrance has always got seals out the front. This particular shot here was a gift really, because actually got him to see him chase a fish up into the rocks and catch it. The dolphins, particular days are more often than not when the tailor are migrating into the lakes. There's normally a lot of action. There's always lots of pelicans and bird life and boats moving everywhere and dredges, and it's a beautiful. There's always something to see. Morning, we're just leaving Lakes entrance, and after being there for about a month, we can only stay at the Cunningham jetty there for about a month, and it's time to move on. You sort of want to go. But we got my old bike from my kids' days, from high school days, on board to Treadley back to Lakes entrance to pick my car up. It's an absolute beauty. It's a Malvern Star, and it's still got the same original tyres on it that are all cracked, so I'm going to see whether I can make it. I'll just give you a quick look at her. She's a light blue colour. handlebars turned up the opposite way. That's a modification or an adjustment made by my dad, which is quite old school, and I tried it the other day. It was pretty good, so we'll see how we go, and whether we end up walking most of the way or not, but it's about 20k, so anyway, that's about it. I better start concentrating. We've got a barge, we're just passing one of the barges or dredges. These big cypress trees used to be all the way along here back when I was a kid, and now there's still a couple, but they've got the old chainsaw man, the sculpture man, to make sculptures out of it, and and there's a swan just making a home on the grass. So one of the first of the wood carvings is of Florence Nightingale, the nurse that looked after the soldiers, that got quite a reputation. This is her just here on the left. Might have an old cypress tree that was been there years ago. And then a bit further up, we've got John Simpson, the man that rescued many people using his donkey at Gallipoli. That's Lake's entrance. Pretty special. Soda Fish. That restaurant's been there for years, but different owners. That's the post office jetty, I think. And a lot of fishing boats. All different sizes, a few tour boats that tour around the lakes, and then we've got Cunningham Key jetty. There was the one over there with the red. That's where I was for about a month. I've been there for 2 months all up. Once when I first come here, and then just recently. Bloody awesome, because you've got heaps of water, heaps of power. Close to everything. Car park for your car. My car's just down here, which I'm going to pick up, and I've officially made it on the Malvern, 30-year-old Malvern. So actually it's not 30 years old. I had it when I was at high school, just went to high school, so say I was 13 or something, till now is 36 years old or something. Bloody amazed. This is North Arm at Lakes entrance. We're down a fair way. You can still see the houses up on the bluff there. Done and dusted. Until next time.